This Wednesday on the 4th of January, we're going to be getting a brand new Amber Island wave. And with this wave, we're going to be getting a returning monster. I wonder who that could be. But also, if we take a look at a teaser here, we might have someone hidden away that might also be coming. When Bison was first revealed, we were revealed towards this teaser with Rare Yelmo inside. Now, I've not watched this, as I've heard that Drummidary's sound is actually audible inside of it. So inside of here is pretty much solid confirmation here that Drummidary is going to be our next Amber Island monster. They love throwing out teasers randomly, and I have no doubt incorporating that sound into this teaser is the main reason why Drummidary will be the next one. Besides Drummidary though, we have the 3 final quints that are going to be coming, and the potential hex, which has been deconfirmed, but once again, we're throwing it in there as we know we really do want it. Now, unfortunately, these 3 quints have been confirmed now to unfortunately not be arriving inside of Dawn of Fire coherently with the original game. So far with Pong, we've seen all of the monsters arrive inside of Dawn of Fire, either simultaneously or before with every single one. But unfortunately, these ones are going to be arriving a little bit later, which is a little bit unfortunate. But looking on the bright side of things, we're going to be getting these 3 brand new quints to check out following on from Drummidary, which is going to be quite exciting. As these quints, I have no doubt, are going to be absolutely phenomenal. And them getting the main spotlight on Amber Island, I think, is going to help flesh out the song even further, as that's potentially something that Amber Island needs, just that spark of creativity potentially to get the song up and running. So far, we've had all of these returning monsters, and I feel like the composer with the upcoming quints probably did have a lot more freedom behind the Amber Island song and what they wanted to do with it. So therefore, I do think that these quints are going to potentially add the most, hopefully, fingers crossed guys, the Amber Island song, as the song definitely does need it. Inside of this teaser, even though I've not listened to it, I do know that Drummidary does play inside of Wallaby's verse, and that ties with Bitoners releasing too. It makes a lot of sense why they'd have played that one. So even though I've not listened to it, I'm going to follow along with it, and I do think that it will only play inside of Wallaby's verse more than likely, but I am hoping that Drummidary does play more inside of the Amber Island song. This is one of the final really cool fire elementals where I feel like this could really upgrade the Amber Island song, and I feel like if they don't do it with Drummidary, they're honestly losing out on the chances here to pull out the bag with Amber Island and make this song a little bit more memorable than what it is at the moment. We really need something inside of this song to make the song click and feel in place, and I feel like the quints are going to probably be the new ones that do deliver on that promise. But Drummidary is a very intense sound, and I do believe that the percussion that Drummidary could provide to the song could be just what the song needs. Even though he's going to play in Wallaby's verse, I do have quite high hopes for Drummidary. Even if you guys have watched the sound, I'm sure it sounds absolutely epic, as Drummidary, unlike Candelabra, I think has to kind of deliver, seeing as though it's such an intense sound. I would presume that it is going to be a worthy quint elemental. When Candelabra first released, I was like, is that all Candelabra does? It was pretty lame, the addition that Candelabra had, considering that the first ever quint monster to arrive inside of My Singing Monsters. But this second one, with that being Drummidary, I do think is going to deliver. And actually, I do think it is still going to have a bit more of a lighter part in comparison to Candelabra. I still do think that it's not potentially going to add that kind of intense action that we long for inside of Drummidary, even though I would really like that. I have a feeling it is going to be a little bit more lighter, more akin to Drummidary's Cloud Island sound. That's definitely what we're going to be striving for with this, I do think, in comparison to its continent one. I don't think we're really going to get anything like that, especially with this being inside of Wallaby's verse. Wallaby's verse is a lot more lighter in comparison to the rest of the song and very easygoing, and therefore I expect for them to delve into Cloud Island sound a lot more. I do think Drummidary's sound is too much probably for the beginning of the song, therefore I don't expect Drummidary to play there. However, something I would really like is if Drummidary played with Flum Ox inside of the beat pop. That would be a lit moment. The beat pop is my favorite part inside of the song, and I feel like Drummidary would be a really cool monster to put inside of there. We've had lots of monsters be integrated into the other verses outside of the main one with Yelmo and Seagrab so far in recent waves, so I feel like this trend is going to continue until we see the new quints. Therefore, I would really like to see it play there, but my main wish, you may see where I'm going with this, seeing as I'm mentioning the main verses here, my main wish, other than the verse where it's going to play with Wallaby, would be for it to play with Flower and Bob at the end of the song. You see, I really long for that intense action sound that I've been on about, and I feel like it can't really go anywhere else in the song, but if it was to go anywhere inside of the song, and if Drummidary please had a second track and was an actual monster on Amber Island with a second track, I would would love for it to have a more intense part inside of Flower and Barb's verse. Can we just imagine a more intense Drummidary inside of that? Consonant Drummidary can go at the end of the song, making it an epic finale, and then lighter Drummidary like Cloud Island can go with Wallaby. And therefore we could get both kinds of Drummidary sounds inside of the song too. At that ending part, the powerfulness of that verse, I think, is something that is yet to be explored. You can see what they're aiming for when Tiawa starts playing and those really powerful, rascally vocals kick in. But right now, there's no backing behind it. And I feel like the powerfulness that they're aiming for with that verse is yet to be expanded upon. And I think if Drummidary played an intense part there, that could uplift the song. And therefore, that's my biggest wish for Drummidary, is for Drummidary to play there. Drummidary, I do think, is going to have an amazing design too. They've been nailing the redesign so far. If you go back to Inzazor and Bison, those designs are wow. Those are my favorite redesigns yet. And looking at Drummidary, I think it has a lot of potential here based on the previous waves that we've been getting. These designs have been amazing. So I think that this could be, yet again, probably the best redesign we've had yet. They keep getting better and better with these. And this is the final redesign, amazingly. We've now got every single fire elemental from Dawn of Fire with this one. Going to talk about that for a sec. This is the final one. I can't believe that. It's been an epic journey, guys, hasn't it? And then we're gonna have every single one from Dawn of Fire. That's really weird. That's gonna take a lot of settling in for me. I think with the animation for this one too, I'm expecting for it to potentially be a little bit more fluid, unlike its Cloud Island counterpart. I found Cloud Island's animation to be a little stiff. It was the legs movement and the body interacting with it not quite as fluidly as what I would have potentially have imagined when first looking at the monster. And therefore, I'm really hopeful that they can intertwine the animations with the leg movement a lot more fluidly with this animation. That's my hope anyway. I'm really hoping that it doesn't look quite as stiff. It's probably just me thinking it looks stiff on Cloud Island, but going by Insasong and Candelabra's animations recently on Amber Island, I'm a bit hesitant, and I'm also like, please do make this a cool animation. This is another Quint, and I would really like to be excited about this one, as Candelabra was a little bit of a letdown considering it was the first Quint. So let's make this second one a worthy Quint. So that's another key one. Other than that though, guys, in the more the merrier promotion that's happening for Christmas right now, we've got every single monster available, but in the bottom corner, as we went over at the beginning of the video, there's a teaser hidden away here for a mysterious monster. We've never seen this monster before. It's a huge grey-like horn, and considering as Amber Island Wave 11 that we've got coming up, we know that we're going to be getting a brand new rare. And what else do we know, guys? We also know that the Amber Island rares have been following the release order behind the fire elementals. So the last time we got Yelmo, who released first, and next time we're going to be visiting back to Wave 2 with Flum Ox. So therefore, we're going to be getting Rare Flum Ox inside of this wave. As for whether this teaser does hint towards Rare Flum Ox, though, I think that's a little bit questionable. The horn here doesn't quite match up with Rare Flum Ox, and this is the initial place where Carolong was last year inside of the More the Merrier promotion, which raises my eyebrows a little bit, as we do have Carolong's Crescendo Moon event coming along. So potentially this could not be for Rare Flum Ox, as it does look quite different. And if we put Carolong on screen right here, it does match Carolong's monument quite clearly, this, and has quite a close resemblance to it. And considering this was the spot where Carolong was, they might be hinting to it in that regard. Regardless of whether it is Flum Ox or not, this, though, Rare Flum Ox is on the way. And I do think Rare Flum Ox is going to clash with the calm, meditational personality that we have come to love from Flum Ox. Flum Ox is very calm, and I would love for the rare variant to be the complete opposite. We've been having these polar opposite counterparts come along, whether it's from Horror Guy and Strombone, with those two, one being grumpy and then the other one being kind of caring and loving and more cute. I would love to see more drastic comparisons like this. With the rare designs have been getting so creative again, so extravagant colors, patterned maybe. Let's really bring this monster out into its full, vibrant personality in comparison to Flum Ox. And honestly, why not just make it something like Epic Cooler or something? Something very out there and just stands out and makes you go, wow, that one is so chill and that one's so out there. We absolutely do need that. The most important thing for Rare Flum Ox, though, that I would look for on the design is for them to incorporate a different kind of horn. The horns are the signature piece behind Flum Ox, and if we're going to clash with this personality in some way, we've got to have different horns there. Whether it's the same horn as inside of that teaser, and boy, if it is, we are in for a treat, as that horn looks so drastically different in comparison to Flum Ox's. But regardless of if it is or not, those horns have just got to change a lot. And for what Rare Flum Ox could look look like? We've got Lyco's wonderful design here. Lyco has pictured Rare Flum Ox as being more of an deer creature here, which definitely clashes with the more low-key vibe of Flum Ox. Definitely. We've got some jingle bells on the side of it, a little bit more befitting of Christmas. Why not throw that in there, I say too. Seeing as though we've only just had Christmas, that would be a nice thing to throw in there. And also the ears being further down on this monster is quite interesting. Lots of references here. I do picture them being a cow also too, based on the pattern texture of it, but also just the general vibe of this. Absolutely love it. The patternness of it, we need something like that on this Rare Flum Ox design. I mean, though, for wave 11 is just Drummidary. My boy, you gotta give me something here. I'm waiting for the Ember Island song to kick, and I've got to get that kick in there. We've got 4 monsters left, Drummidary, and I'm counting on you, boy. I've got to I've got to count on someone inside of these last 4 monsters to really rally this song up. We need someone and Drummidary. I'm looking at you. You're my final one that I'm thinking, you know what? You could do something. You could do something, Drummidary. So if you don't do something, I'm going to point my finger at you, Drummidary, and I'm going to say, I'm over this now. Amber Island, you can get out now. We've had it. We've had it. You've had all your chances. You've had Wallaby. Candelabra, I can't forgive you for Candelabra. Okay? If you don't fix this and make it a worthy quint, I'm out of here. We've got to have a worthy quint this time, I do think. Anyway, though, guys, make sure to let me know what you think down below, and make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, guys, and to subscribe too. I'll see you guys later, though, for now. Bye, guys.